I'm Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
'22 Subaru Forester.
Wilderness edition without launch control, brake boost. Go CVT, go!
Stay CVT, stay.
Sting.
Horsepower and torque.
182 horsepower, 176 pound-feet of torque from a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated boxer 4-cylinder.
And if you brake boost this, the CVT knows to stay pinned at 6. And if you don't brake boost it, if you just floor it, it'll imitate gears while you're flooring it.
Yeah, so the brake boost gives you the better 0 to 60 time, but 0 to 60 doesn't really matter in a car like this.
It's like launch control, but the launch control part happens at the end of the launch control sequence.
CVT control.
All right, what do you want to talk about first?
Let's get into the wilderness of this, starting with the interior. You guys really like this segment in the Porsche Macan video, so it's back in the wilderness video. Inside, we've got yellowy gold accents, which you can see on the steering wheel and on the shifter and throughout the interior. We also have this StarTex material, which apparently is easily wipeable in case you get the interior dirty. We have 1/2 inch of extra ground clearance compared to the other Foresters, total of 9.2 inches, quite a lot of inches if you ask me. Back here, we have a totally different approach and departure angle thanks to these different bumpers. And we also have these all-terrain tires with matte black wheels. And if you're wondering what the Continental recommended tire is, that would be the Terrain Contact AT. Up front, we have this matte black hood decal, which apparently helps with sun glare. I could definitely use that right now. Totally different bumper with those better approach angles. And we have a skid plate up front, so you could bash through snow and take this thing off-road. Got this cool Subaru Wilderness badge up here. And finally, these roof rails with yellow accents, yellowy gold, which can actually support a rooftop tent. Final thing that changes in here is the CVT. We have 8 simulated fake gears instead of 7 like the rest of the Subaru Forester lineup. And we also have an additional CVT cooler to help you tow up to 3,000 pounds. Let's see what all that adds up to on the road. And cliche corner. Ooh, it's actually pretty damn good today. Holy crap, this, okay, understeer, but it's a little bit wet out, but it handles way better than I would have expected it to.
For a tall, off-roady SUV.
It's actually pretty damn good. It's really comfortable through there. That's the biggest thing that I noticed with this is how comfortable this is to drive.
Yeah, it's very soft.
The suspension set up so well. Even though it is taller, they actually revalved and redamped everything correctly for the additional height. Great job, Subaru.
How much taller is this one? It's
0.2 inches.
No, that's not much.
No. And in regular driving conditions, this CVT, it's gonna shift. I don't mind it at all. This car is not very quick, but it's also not that slow.
It's a nice, not slowest ever, big off-roady SUV.
It's very pleasant to drive this.
Yeah, the most pleasant part about driving this is we've got EyeSight 4, which are these things that give you like radar, cruise, lane keep, and all your safety stuff. And on this one, it's got wider cameras, so apparently it's better at seeing when cars are coming in from the left and right while you're doing your radar, cruise, lane keep.
Like wider than the previous Forester generation?
Wider than previous EyeSight.
Oh, okay.
And what I found was that it worked really good. It's like really good radar, cruise, lane keep up there with Kia, Hyundai, Genesis on highways. And I really liked it. Like if you had to daily drive this as well as use it on weekends for like overlanding or surf trips or stuff like that, I think it would be like a perfect mix.
So that's your radar, cruise, and your lane keep assist, which is centering.
Radar, cruise, lane keep, yeah, lane centering.
Centering, yeah. Because a lot of companies will say lane keep assist, but it's not centering.
Yeah, this is good centering. But like you gotta keep your hands on the wheel.
Right.
We got a surprise live video with an unreleased car this week, so make sure you're subscribed so you get a notification when we go live.
Normal videos on weekends, live videos during the week.
And then with that radar cruise, you have 4 adjustments of that in the infotainment. So you can go eco, normal, sportier, and then dynamic. They're all kind of similar, but I think like eco would be the best because like dynamic I feel is just trying to pull you in while people are merging quicker, and like I'm not really in a hurry when I'm in radar cruise. I'm trying to relax.
But that should be called like Toronto mode. Like if you don't want to miss that spot, you got to like stay on people's bumpers.
Man, people aren't going to see you. You're just going to get into an accident.
Yo, everyone's going to see you in a wilderness, bro. Look at this thing.
pretty dark. Like,
not really. This blue's pretty nice. Do you want to
Like-
talk about these looks?
yeah, some of the yellow accents might shine into someone's eyes, and that's about it. But besides that, like, if you don't look for the badge, you're like, okay, just another Forester.
Bro, look at these plastic claddings. There's no way, not even close to a regular Forester. This looks like a Wilderness.
Yeah, but it's the normal Forester still has a lot of plastic cladding too. Because I wouldn't want like a top trim, no cladding Forester.
I would.
I would want it to be ruggedy like
I get
this.
that, I get that.
Like a Crosstrek.
Yeah, this looks very Crosstrek and Outback Wilderness. Now that there's a Wilderness trim, there's probably going to be a Wilderness Crosstrek coming soon, I would assume.
And then, yeah, this front end is updated, and it's got different style headlights. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not like, oh my God, this looks amazing. This is the coolest looking thing ever, but it's like just a decent refresh.
Right, exactly. Like decent is what I would say.
And then because it's the Wilderness,
Wilderness.
and because it's the Wilderness, we've got a sticker on the hood
Yeah.
and on the headrests.
Yes, exactly. The oddest thing that is my favorite part of the exterior are these gold accents. Yuri calls them yellow, I call them gold. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, but I really like the badge. The badge has actual like texture and 3D-ness to it. Unlike the Bronco, which gave them those like fridge magnets, this doesn't look like a fridge magnet.
Yeah, it's funny how they're all kind of doing it the same style.
Right, yeah, front fender, a little thing that looks fridge magnet-ish.
But there is an official name for the gold color. I just forgot it. It was like iodized copper something metallic.
It's probably exactly what we should call it, but you know, I think it looks goldish.
And then looks-wise and performance-wise, this kind of competes with the Cherokee Trailhawk, the Bronco Sport Badlands, and the RAV4 TRD Off-Road.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then only looks-wise, the Pilot...
Passport Pilot,
Passport.
Trail Sport.
Yeah.
Or Trail Sport.
But that's just an aggressive-looking off-road appearance with no performance yet. That is coming later in the future.
Yes, it's supposed to have stuff, but here's what you got now.
So which one do you think would be the most capable of all those? Maybe this?
This or the Jeep. Probably the Jeep. Jeep's trail rated.
Yeah.
This is Wilderness rated. But there's a lot more to talk about. Let's get you into the driver's seat.
Non-brake boost.
CVT, switch, yeah!
Okay. I mean, whatever. It's a decent speed for putting around. Like, it's not a fast car. It's not meant to be.
No, it's totally adequate.
Okay. Some stuff that I like about this car. We don't have remote start on the key fob, but I did get the password for the app from Subaru Canada, and I was able to remote start it, lock it, find the location from the app. That stuff you got to pay for, which is going to suck because we don't like subscriptions.
Yeah.
But at least right now, while you lease this before you sell it, you can do that. And if you're looking to buy your own, tsp.truecar.com.
Discounted price offers.
On new models, USA. And the next thing I like about this, we've got the really good infotainment from Subaru. This is before we go full tall tablet style, which I really, really hate.
So this is the same as we had in the STI. If you guys missed that video, watch that one.
Yeah, it's very similar. These have hard buttons instead of capacitive buttons on the side, but
That's nice.
It still has a volume knob and a tuning knob. We've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. What does suck though is when you click your phone, it doesn't go to your phone projection. It'll just go to the phone in Apple CarPlay, but it's still like not the worst, especially compared to a lot of the bad infotainments out there.
Tell me about the phone, Yuri.
So when you're on a phone call, the phone call blocks your digital speed on your gauge cluster. And no matter what you do, you can't get rid of that. You're forced to rely on your analog speedo.
Which is a little weird because other Subarus don't do that.
They all do that.
Oh.
And there's a different brand that lets you get out of that.
Okay.
And
There's Toyota.
And what sucks for me is I like to look at digital numbers. I don't read analog as well. Like, I don't like wristwatches. I don't like that whole thing. It's not my style. So it's annoying. And I asked the Subaru people, and they're like, oh, the telematics team said there's no plans to change it or can't talk about it. And as I posted that to my story on Instagram, someone messaged me. They're like, I hate this. This is the worst feature. I've had it for 5 years, and I can't get rid of it. But there is a solution to that.
Okay.
Every time I'm on a phone call with you from this car, you tell me the audio quality is so bad, you hate it.
I literally can't hear you.
Here's a quick comparison of me on the Apple CarPlay through the phone, on the speakerphone in the armrest, and then on AirPods.
This is Yuri talking through Apple CarPlay on the Subaru. This is Yuri talking through my iPhone on speakerphone on the armrest. This is Yuri talking on my AirPods while driving in the Subaru.
So to fix Apple CarPlay hiding the speedometer, they made it so you have to disconnect your phone to take a phone call.
That's not a real solution.
It's genius. Subaru, they're geniuses.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I mean, if I was listening to you and I was in another vehicle, I'd probably fire you or just cancel whatever shipment we were trying to make a business deal on.
Yeah, and like why are you hiding the digital speedo and not giving an option to get rid of,
Yeah.
That is such an oversight.
It doesn't bother me at all because we still have the analog one, but I see why it bothers you.
Yeah, it's just like, ugh. And then back to the infotainment. So we've got Sirius XM satellite radios that rewind and have tune mix, my favorite. Pretty okay sound system. The best thing though is the tuning knob, how fast it goes through all the channels. Like, I love that.
Just rifles through them. And what about the backup camera?
Backup camera's all right. No 360 camera, but we do have a front trail camera that we can click with this hard button and it goes on at any speed. But it gets blown out very easily. And then if you have that on, you can't toggle through your settings on that little screen that show you all the angles and everything if you're off-roading.
Right. Can you have the front screen on while you're reversing as well?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You want me to show you?
Yeah.
It's called 180 camera, bro.
Exactly.
Anyways, it's pretty cool. It's a cool feature, but I think Toyota does it better in their Tacoma, even though it's low res. Remember they had all the overlays and everything?
Yeah, you can
and
still see the angles. Yeah, it's cool.
But this is a cool attempt for their beginning of their wilderness stuff.
Right.
And then some more fun stuff. I already talked about the radar cruise lane keep, but we have a bunch of safety features as well. Some of them we can turn off, like our traction and our blind spot monitoring here on the left. And then some of them, front collision and our lane keep is up here, which is very difficult to find.
Never would have looked there in my entire life. Like, oh yeah, sunroof? Oh, that makes sense. Lane keep and collision? No.
And then above that, we have this massive sunroof with a manual slide. This is like the largest manual slider I've ever seen.
Watch your shoulder, Yuri. So I actually hate this because look how far back you have to reach to get to this thing. It's kind of ridiculous.
Okay, check this out. Say I want to open it, right?
Yeah. That is the hack to do it, but now you're also opening the actual sunroof. Oh my God, it's minus.
But let me blow your mind in 1 second. Okay, ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh, it went with it.
Oh, because you didn't pull it off enough.
I thought it would slide back. No. Okay, whatever.
Oh, shoulder. Whew. Subaru.
Yeah, watch your shoulders. Chiropractors' favorite cars.
Wait, chiropractors do shoulders? Physiotherapists.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't go to Cairo.
No, I go all the time for my back.
And then with the buttons here on the left, we have a button where we can set the memory of the rear tailgate so it'll stop at a certain part. And what's cool is back there when you open it up, okay, fold all the seats down from back there, lots of room. That's very nice. But we have these hooks up there in the middle for hanging like wetsuits, they say, and stuff like that, which kind of makes sense because if you have something like this, you got to get out to certain places and you need to change your outfits for activities.
This is Overland Edition, where you're going to go scuba diving in the forest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more like of the idea that you're driving it to go skiing something, or maybe you're driving it to like a surf spot through a sketchy road.
See, I think you're going camping because the roof can take a tent. They show all their press material and everything of this thing in forest. This thing is called Wilderness. It's not called Ocean Edition. So I think it makes sense to actually take this camping, and then you can take your smelly clothes and dry them out there, or maybe even hang your food so that bears don't get to them.
But do you take your wetsuit camping? Because they specifically in the press material said wetsuit. And for me, I think wetsuit is like scuba diving or surfing, really.
I guess they're just reaching for every possible thing that you'd think that you could do in this.
This would be a pretty sick surf car.
Potentially.
All right, now to film some X mode stuff, which we have dual X mode in this car, which lets us get through sticky situations. So first one is for snow and dirt, which is like slippery stuff. And then this is for deep snow mud on the right. Unfortunately, our graphics don't show that here, but it did on a previous version in a previous video I watched.
Yeah.
So it is kind of confusing for someone who can't super analyze the photos and realize what they're for.
I think there's more of a difference for me that I'm totally fine with it, but the fact that they pre-wrote it in different models and then removed it,
yeah.
I guess maybe some focus group determined that that deepness was enough.
And then it'll automatically turn off when you go over 40, but now it'll turn back on with this new version of X mode.
Ooh, we're off-roading.
Okay, we're off-roading. Hopefully I don't get stuck.
Yeah.
I don't remember this bump here when it was dry.
No, I think we're off-road actually now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can do this.
And I am in the second mode, which also helps lock up clutches and stuff like that a little bit tighter.
No problem. Yo, this is too easy. I'm tossing you in the
What if I turn X mode? Turn X mode off.
Okay, go. Oh, we're still good.
We're still good. But how much easier was it?
You're gonna have to go faster, or else we're stuck here. Oh yeah.
What was that? A skid plate that stopped it from getting any damage?
Sure was, Yuri.
So far, that X mode was great, and I feel like if we had the regular STI that we had last week or 2 weeks ago, we might have gotten a little bit stuck there.
Probably.
Especially with ground clearance.
So X mode, we didn't really need it there because normal mode got us through, but it's cool to have in case you really needed it.
So to try to better demonstrate X mode, I found this unplowed parking lot that's pretty deep. We're gonna see if the Subaru can get stuck and then unstuck using X mode. Even with normal mode, no X mode at all, it still handles everything very, very well, which is unfortunate for my test. Watch this video, which there'll be a link in the description, that showed a really, really good representation from a couple years ago of dual mode X mode.
Why'd you go like this if the thing is over there?
I'm gonna show the thumbnail, but the link is below.
Gotcha. And in terms of other normal drive modes, we actually do have normal if you push this button, but then on your steering wheel, you got 2 more.
We have Sport Sharp and Sport Intelligent, where on the STI we had a third one. I forget which one that was.
Sport, Sport Sharp, and Intelligent. Not Sport Intelligent.
And then this normal button isn't really like a normal mode, it's just X mode off.
Yes, which is normal.
I think that's a good amount of modes.
It's just weird where they place them.
Yeah, if they made this say X mode off instead of push normal, it would be much clearer.
Yes.
Okay, next to that we have 2 buttons for our heated seats. They're hard buttons, which are really cool. But the only thing that sucks about having hard buttons is if I'm setting it up through the app, I can't change that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when it's winter, you just kind of keep it in low the whole time anyways.
Pretty much. Subaru seats get really, really hot.
And we have a heated steering wheel as well, which works out really nicely. The light here, pretty visible when you're the driver. I can see it just fine.
Yeah, but in the sun, you can't really see it. Like I've had multiple situations where I couldn't see the light bright enough.
And have you used these paddles at all?
Not even once here.
Do you have any desire to?
No.
No, I would use the X mode before I'd ever use the paddles.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wish I had this with X mode to mess around in that big, gigantic Toronto snowstorm instead of the STI we had that week. But I think it was still like fun to do in that, but this probably would have conquered way more without any snow plowing.
Just because of all the ground clearance.
Yeah, exactly. And the X mode and not having to deal with a manual transmission while doing it.
And let's talk about this interior, the actual materials and everything. These seats are very, very comfortable. They're very supportive, very well bolstered.
Yeah, they're nice.
The materials in here are generally very, very nice.
We got electric controls on the left here, but no presets. And then we only have forward and back lumbar, not up and down lumbar, which kind of sucks. I love that up and down addition as well.
And then manual adjustment on the passenger side and no height adjustment. So I'm instantly taller and I don't really like that.
And I raised my seat up
Yeah.
just to prove that I don't care.
Well, it's so you can see over the hood.
Because I'm so small. Short kings unite in the comments below.
What's a short king?
It's like
It's someone that's
you're
short.
a short king.
What is that?
It's like you're short, good for you.
What about tall kings? Is that a
tall,
thing?
tall kings is a thing too.
Okay. I've never heard of this before.
It's new style internet lingo.
Like a meme.
No, not really. It's just lingo.
And then we got this cool kind of rubberized texture up on the dash with some cool stitching, and you can see that texture on the side panels and kind of leather wrap stuff throughout the interior.
Yeah, that material's on the seats
Well,
as well.
leather-ish. Yeah, it's called StarTex.
Yeah, it's on the seats as well. And then we got our little similar to Volvo style tags and everything.
And back seat room is very, very good for myself, 6'1.5", no issues at all.
Yeah, it's great back there, but there's no built-in baby shades, which would kind of suck if you're using this for a family vehicle. It would be nice to just have that stuff built in.
But tons of room for a car seat though.
Tons! And a stroller back there. And then as for cup holders, it does not fit a small cup of Timmy's down there.
Total fail.
Unless we use the TheStraightPipes cup fix 3D printable thing.
3D printed cup fix that I printed for Yuri.
It works perfectly. And then our visors.
Let's check them.
3, 2, 1.
Fail, and this massive extension.
Yeah.
Still a fail. Come on, Subaru.
Good attempt.
Ish.
So with all that out of the way, I think that's pretty much it. Let's get to the price.
This Wilderness is $38,995 Canadian, which is a pretty reasonable price for what you're getting, especially because it looks different enough from everything else in the Subaru Forester lineup.
Yeah, but would you really want a Forester, and like especially the more off-roady one? Like, I feel like the person who buys this is someone who got stuck once and never wants to get stuck again and likes the whole like off-roady look. But like I can't imagine these being used too much daily in like mountain roads and stuff.
Everyone is buying, and wanting to look rugged. Everyone wants to look like they go camping and overlanding every single weekend, which is why all these trims are coming out, I think.
I feel like this would be my choice for a Forester across the whole lineup because of the looks, and especially considering how good the eyesight system is. I feel like a lot of off-roady cars wouldn't offer that kind of stuff, but this does.
Yeah, and I like the Forester Sport. I think it looks a little bit sportier.
Is that with the red trim?
Yeah, red trim.
Well, when I was driving the STI in the winter, going through that big snow, a guy in a Forester Sport came, and he was stoked too, and just doing donuts and stuff.
So you don't need a Wilderness. You just kind of want the look of it mostly.
We're friends now.
Oh, nice.
We took a picture together on Instagram.
That's cool. What'd you call him and ask him about what he ate for breakfast this morning?
I forget his name, but he was from the Philippines, so shout out Philippines.
Shout out. So let us know what you guys think of the Subaru Forester Wilderness. Is Wilderness a cool enough trim for all the Subarus that are coming out now?
And are you excited for the WRX STI Wilderness?
That would be cool, because considering how
But
much
it would have to be a CVT.
and it would have to have like 6 layers of plastic cladding, because it already has so much plastic cladding on the WRX.
Tri-mode, X-mode.
Can you, Subaru, patented idea, if you do this, you owe me money. The whole car is plastic cladding.
I don't think that's the way patented works.
The whole car is plastic cladding.